Hello friends in District 4, this is Commissioner Ryan Baty, and I'd like to share with you a few updates on some things that are happening here in Sedgwick County. Every year around March 1st, the appraiser will send out current property valuation notices to all the property owners across the state of Kansas. This time of year, my email inbox typically fills up with a lot of constituents that have questions or concerns. So I want to do my best to help provide some really broad insight into this process that regards valuations, appraisals, the whole thing. So first, let me help you understand the role of the county appraiser. As some of you know, the county commission hires and appoints the appraiser and funds their operational budget. But the direction and the methodology they use to calculate appraisals, that comes from the state. More specifically, the Property Valuation Division that's housed at the Kansas Department of Revenue. This is important because as a local county commissioner, I don't have any authority over many of the things that really govern the appraisals. We fund the budget, we work on behalf of our constituents to ensure that the processes around valuations are uniform, equal, and that they arrive at a fair market value, but we cannot influence the actual valuation that you receive on your property. Only the appointed appraiser has that statutory authority. So it's worth noting that we just hired a new Sedgwick County appraiser in January. Deanna Aspinen assumed that role, and she's hit the ground running. I am thoroughly impressed with her approach and the team around her, as they've really heard loud and clear from the commission, and they have pledged to really work with us on alleviating some of our concerns. So let's talk about what we are seeing throughout Sedgwick County on these valuations. The county appraiser uses actual sales data as well as mass appraisal computer tools to generate these valuations. And state law requires appraisers to value property within 90 to 110% of market sales. So your valuation is heavily influenced by all those factors. Here's some data we can chew on. We actually saw a dip in residential sales from 6,333 in 2024 down to 5,007 in 2025. So a decline in sales transactions. But the median sales price rose from 247,500 up to 264,100. How did the county valuations do against those sales prices? Well, in 2024, 5,739 transactions were sold over the county valuation, so 91%. 2025, 5,007 residential sales transactions total, 4,200 were sold over the county valuation. That's 84%. The market was hot from 2020 to 2023 due to a lot of factors. There was low interest rates, a lot of liquidity, there was high demand, low supply. We all know people that listed their homes and had multiple offers within the week for over asking price. That drove a surge in valuations. In 2025, the market certainly has cooled, but pricing is still high, and that data has proven itself out. So all in all, residential properties across Sedgwick County will see a median net change of plus 9.3%. When I first heard that number, I'm going to admit I was a little surprised. I expected an increase, but I didn't anticipate 9.3%. I'm grateful that our appraiser and her team are spending a lot of time with commissioners to help us really understand the data and what it means for property owners all throughout Sedgwick County. So why the concern? Why would a median 9.3% valuation growth in residential assets create frustration? I mean, don't we want our assets to appreciate in value? Well, of course we do. But I contend that people don't mind the valuation growth. What they're frustrated with is not that their assets are growing in value. They don't want to see the property tax increase that oftentimes comes with valuation growth. People really are stretched by the property tax increases that they've seen since 2020. I'm mostly concerned about our working class families and those individuals that are on fixed incomes that have had to absorb the inflation in their everyday goods and services, all while feeling stretched by these growing property tax bills, or maybe their growing escrow charges on their mortgage payments, or even the growing rent increases that are being passed through by their landlords. The challenge is real, and that's why people are so concerned. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to say something that might upset some of my elected peers across cities and varying school districts, but I think it needs to be said. There is no reason why a taxing jurisdiction needs to take all of the projected 9.3 assessed property value growth. There's no reason. Keeping a mill levy rate that is flat, that means they're just simply capturing all the available growth, and that's passing a significant property tax increase to you. If any of these taxing authorities need more property tax revenue than their last budget, then every single elected that makes up that board should be able to make a case for why. Some of these reasons why they need more revenue are justified. Others might just be a result of some lazy budgeting. Taxpayers should demand these types of answers from the people that are elected to build these budgets every August. Now listen, this is important. This newsletter is about valuation notices on your appraisals. But here I am talking about property taxes. So I'm hoping that you're seeing that these two things, valuations and property taxes, they really aren't directly related. The county appraiser doesn't set tax rates. The county appraiser doesn't build budgets. That's a job of the local government that levies taxes for our services. And I want to encourage them, all these local governments, to do what Sedgwick County government has done and will continue to do. Build your budget on what you need to perform efficient services, not what is available in assessed value growth to take. And then you can pass through a mill levy reduction to your constituents who desperately need it. Sedgwick County is only one line item on your property tax bill, and it only represents about 20% of your total property taxes. I know what we're going to be pushing here at the county, and I'm hopeful other taxing jurisdictions will do the same. There is a lot to discuss in property taxes and property tax reforms and things that I'd love to see in this process. That's a conversation for a different newsletter. For now, if you have any questions or if you simply want to share some feedback about your valuation notices, I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to give us a call here at the office or send me an email directly. As always, thank you, District 4.